Hey folks, welcome to the warehouse. Most people see a place like this and just think about the stuff they ordered online. But today, we're going behind the scenes to see what makes this whole operation tick. We're talking safety, efficiency, and all the little details that most folks never even think about. It's about managers and supervisors getting out from behind their desks and seeing firsthand how things really work. No fancy reports, no spreadsheets, just good old-fashioned observation and conversation. So come on, let's ditch the hard hats and clipboards for a minute and see how they keep this place humming. First things first, let's talk safety. It's the foundation of any well-run warehouse. You can tell a lot about a workplace by how seriously they take safety precautions. It's not just about having the gear, it's about the mindset. Here, they've got these big old posters up on the wall, right where everyone can see them. These posters are strategically placed to catch everyone's eye. EHS, that's environmental, health, and safety. And then there's the ethics and compliance stuff. These things are important. They cover everything from handling materials to ethical behavior. They're not just decoration, they're a constant reminder of the rules and regulations that keep everyone safe and sound. These posters serve as daily check-ins for everyone. That's why a good Gemba walk involves talking to the team, asking them about the policies, and making sure they know the drill. It's about engagement and understanding. It's all about creating a culture of safety, where everyone's looking out for themselves and each other. When safety becomes second nature, everyone benefits. All right, let's talk fire safety. In a place like this, with all these boxes and materials stacked high, you gotta be prepared for anything. That's why we're checking the fire extinguishers. First things first, no obstructions. You gotta be able to grab that thing and go without having to move boxes or climb over stuff. And you better believe we're checking the gauge to make sure it's in the green. But it's not just about the extinguishers themselves. It's about the whole mindset. Are there clear evacuation routes? Do folks know where to go and what to do in case of a fire? Now let's talk about something that can be just as dangerous as fire electricity. In a warehouse like this, you've got wires running everywhere, powering all sorts of equipment. One loose connection or overloaded outlet, and you've got a recipe for disaster. That's why we're taking a good hard look at all the electrical sockets. Are they cracked? Discolored? Do they feel hot to the touch? These are all signs that something might be amiss. And we're not just checking the outlets themselves. We're looking at the cords too. Remember folks, electricity is nothing to mess around with. It's easy to forget that a warehouse is basically a giant puzzle. Everything has its place, and there's a reason for it. Take those electrical switchboards, for example. Those things are like the brains of the operation, and you gotta keep them safe. That's why we're making sure there's a good, safe distance between the shipments and those switchboards. We're talking at least 2 feet of clearance, no exceptions. You don't want a stray box falling over and knocking something loose. If something does go wrong, you need to be able to access those switchboards quickly and easily. All right, let's talk about backup power. Those UPS units that kick in when the lights go out. Important stuff, right? But they can also be a fire hazard if you're not careful. That's why we're making sure the UPS area is squeaky clean and free of any combustible materials. We're talking no cardboard boxes, no packing peanuts, no flammable liquids, nothing that could catch fire easily. Those UPS batteries can give off flammable gases, so good ventilation is key. Remember, the UPS system is there to keep things running smoothly, even in an emergency. Now, let's talk about keeping things cool. In a warehouse this size, with all the activity going on, it can get pretty stuffy. That's where these big industrial fans come in. But just like any piece of machinery, they need to be properly maintained. First things first, those mesh guards. They're not just there for looks. They're there to protect folks from those spinning blades, and we're making sure those guards are securely fastened, no exceptions. Next, we're checking the wiring. Electricity and spinning blades are a bad combination, folks. Chapter 7. Banishing the Band-Aids. No plastic fans or dodgy extension cords. One of the things I've learned from all my years of getting dirty is that shortcuts usually lead to trouble. They might save you a few minutes now, but they can cost you dearly in the long run. And nowhere is that more true than when it comes to safety. Safety isn't just a set of rules, it's a mindset, a culture that we need to foster every single day. That's why we're keeping an eye out for those little band-aid solutions that folks sometimes use to cut corners. These quick fixes might seem harmless, but they can lead to serious accidents. Take those plastic body fans, for example. They might be cheap and easy to set up, but they come with hidden dangers. Sure, they might seem like a good idea on a hot day, but they're a fire hazard waiting to happen. The motor can overheat, and before you know it, you've got a potential disaster. One little spark from the motor and you've got a real problem on your hands. It's not just about the immediate danger. It's about the ripple effects that can impact everyone around. Remember, folks, safety is about doing things right, even when it's not the easy way. It's about making choices that protect you and your coworkers, ensuring everyone goes home safe at the end of the day. Chapter 8, MCBs, the unsung heroes of electrical safety. All right, let's talk about something a little technical, but just as important, MCBs. That stands for miniature circuit breaker, and they're like the safety valves of your electrical system. If there's a surge or an overload, they trip and cut off the power before things get out of hand. That's why we're making sure there's a 30 milliamp MCB installed at the distribution board. That's the magic number that helps prevent electrical shocks and keeps everyone safe. And we're not just checking to see if it's there, we're making sure it's in good working order. Remember, folks, electricity is powerful stuff. Chapter 9, First Aid. Prepared for the unexpected. You know, accidents happen. It's just a fact of life. But that doesn't mean we can't be prepared. That's why a well-stocked first aid kit is absolutely essential in any workplace, especially a busy warehouse like this. And I'm not just talking about a couple of Band-Aids and some aspirin. We're talking the whole 9 yards. Gauze, antiseptic wipes, burn cream, eye wash, the works. And just as important as having the supplies is knowing how to use them. Chapter 10, Hygiene Matters, Cleanliness and Comfort. You know, it's easy to forget about the little things when you're focused on safety and efficiency. But a good Gemba walk is about more than just checking off boxes. It's about making sure the workplace is a place where people actually want to be. And that means paying attention to the basics like clean restrooms and fresh drinking water. A clean restroom is a sign of a company that cares about its employees, plain and simple. And the same goes for drinking water. Folks need to stay hydrated, especially in a hot, busy environment like this. Chapter 11. Geared up for delivery, helmet, hair, don't care. Safety doesn't stop at the warehouse door, folks. We gotta make sure those delivery drivers are protected too. And that means making sure they're wearing the right gear, starting with a good, sturdy helmet. And we're not talking about those flimsy bicycle helmets either. We're talking full-face ISI certified helmets that can take a beating. But it's not just about the helmet itself. It's about making sure it fits properly. A loose helmet is about as useful as a chocolate fire guard. Remember, folks, safety is a team effort. Chapter 12. Waste not, want not, sorting it out. You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure, or so they say. But in a warehouse, trash can quickly turn into a safety hazard if it's not handled properly. That's why we're paying close attention to waste management. And I'm not just talking about taking out the trash, I'm talking about sorting it properly. Cardboard goes here, plastic goes there, and hazardous waste goes somewhere else entirely. Because here's the thing, a clean and organized workplace is a safe workplace. Plus, it's just good for the environment. Chapter 13. The Big Picture Hub Infrastructure and Road Safety. All right, folks, we're nearing the end of our Gemba walk, but that doesn't mean we can let our guard down. We've covered a lot of ground, from fire safety to electrical hazards to waste management. But now it's time to step back and look at the big picture. We're talking about the overall hub infrastructure. Are there any tripping hazards? Is the lighting adequate? Is there enough space for folks to move around safely? And finally, let's not forget about road safety. Those delivery drivers are out there on the front lines representing the company. Outro safety, it's everyone's job. Well, folks, there you have it. A behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to keep a warehouse running smoothly and safely. From fire extinguishers to first aid kits to those all-important MCBs, we've covered a lot of ground. But the most important takeaway is this. Safety is not just the responsibility of the managers or the safety officers, it's everyone's job. It's about looking out for yourself and looking out for each other. So let's all do our part to create a workplace where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued. because at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Always prioritize safety. Join us in creating a safer workplace. Remember, safety is a continuous effort. It requires constant vigilance and a proactive approach. By working together and staying committed, we can ensure that our workplace remains a safe environment for everyone. Let's celebrate our achievements and continue to strive for excellence in safety. Together, we can make a difference.